Welcome back to the Boston Sports Brothers podcast. We are recording here on Marathon Monday, Patriots Day. Always a fantastic day in Boston, fellas. How are you?
How we
Doing well.
doing?
Wicked
Happy Monday,
pissa.
happy Mondays. Wicked
Quite a
Pissa.
yeah, wicked pissa. Quite a Monday here in Boston. We'll get to it. Lots to recap from this beautiful weekend in town, and lots of sports things going on. The Bruins completely fucked us because on a day like today, you really want like the marathon and the Sox 11 o'clock game and rolling right into Bruins playoffs, and they just completely fucked us in that regard. So, but they got some work to do, and we'll touch on that. But the first thing we need to touch on is the start of the NBA playoffs is underway, and our Boston Celtics now hold a 1-0 lead against the Orlando Magic. Big E, let's break it down, take it away in terms of game notes, discussion, fellas. Let's get into game one and certainly talk about the games that are coming up as well. Big E, take it away.
Yeah, I'll kick it off, and I think I definitely want this to be a roundtable discussion with everyone here about the game because we all watched it, we all saw what happened. I think the big takeaways for me, just to kick it off, is the two stars in Orlando are really good, Banchero and Wagner, Franz Wagner, not his brother, who's a dirty player. They're great players. It's about the supporting cast around them, which it just doesn't seem like they have enough to make the series, a series that's going to be contested 6, 7 games. Could they go off and pull off a game? Sure. Like they had a great first half yesterday, but I think the big thing that was a takeaway from the Celtics side is even when the stars aren't shining the brightest, it's the collective unit, the collective team effort that's there that's going to get us to where we need to go. Guys like Derek White, Drew Holiday, and I think Derek White is a guy that we all look at and say like he's kind of in that next tier of being a star. Maybe someone who we could say is kind of a star. But besides him, it was Peyton Pritchard, Drew Holiday. Porzingis probably didn't play his best game, but also did well. I would love to throw it out to you guys to see what your other thoughts are. I just think the other one last thought before I throw it out to you guys is rebounding is definitely something that's an issue for the Celtics based on the game here. I'm not sure if that's necessarily something that we should be looking at that's matchup related, or if that's more of something that is something that we need to keep an eye on long term through the rest of this playoff run. So, who wants to jump in? Take it away.
Yeah, I'll jump in. I'll jump in. Like you said, perfect segue right into the whole rebounding thing. I texted in the group about how, the offensive boards were killing us. And I mean, it wasn't a huge margin. We had 9, they had 13. But like you said, I don't know how it's going to affect us long term. But the other thing that I thought was huge was forcing the turnovers. The amount of points that we scored on turnovers. As I've been doing, script writing and all that stuff, I've been keeping track and not really keeping track, but I've been able to see what we garner off of points. And typically we don't really garner that many points off of turnovers. And this was big to see 24 points over 15 turnovers was pretty big for the Celtics. So they're capitalizing on the Magic's mistakes, which is what they need to do. And like you said, Porzingis didn't play well. Tatum didn't have a great scoring night, but the guy put up 17 and 14, and I mean that's insane. Uh, the
Well,
other
but
guys off
Tatum
the
coming
bench.
for that ass, so
We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But
All
yeah,
on
I
Brandy.
mean these games, especially the first one, I like to think of it as like a boxing match. It's like round one. You kind of throw your feelers out there. I'm glad we got the win. We keep the home court advantage. But yeah, let's throw it to someone else.
I think this game's going 4-5 at best. Eric, you put it best. They just have two great players, and the supporting cast around them is just not there. I think I looked at the box score at the end of the game, and I believe it was like six. The two players, Caro and Wagner, or they had 60 at around 60-ish points. I think they scored
Mhm.
80 something total. So when you're only having 20 points from your supporting cast, like that's just not going to do it against a solid Celtics team that has a good chance of repeating. So. This game's 4 or 5 games. The Celtics were really active. To your point, too, Krasner. They were really active with the hands and the steals and getting up on guys, and it was nice to see. And also with a little adversity, halftime they were down by a point, so it wasn't a pretty first half, but to see them come out in the second half and just blow doors, you love to see that. So I think this is all about wrapped up.
oh, hot dog. Gabe,
Wow.
any takeaways?
Hot take.
I know you were flying on the plane
Yeah,
on the
I
way
was in the
home.
friendly skies, coming home from Puerto Rico during the game, so I wasn't able to catch any of it. But I had Krasner give me a little post game recap when I landed, and it looked like it was all good. 1-0 series lead, looking pretty good. The one thing that worries me a little bit is the Celtics' health, and it's specifically. Jason Tatum fell on his wrist a little awkwardly. Seems like he'll be okay, but hopefully that doesn't linger further along. And also JB, I think still he looked pretty good, but still nursing that knee a little bit. But I think 80% of JB is better than some average guy in the league. So we'll take that, and I think this series is it's almost over. We will have boots on the ground game two. Um,
Yeah, we sure
that's
will.
another thing. Plotty and I will be at game two. Hope some of you guys will be able to join us as well. But that would hopefully that will be a good game as well for the Celtics. Continue the ride.
I think a few things from what you just said and what everyone said is if the Celtics can go ahead and take care of business in 4 or 5 games, the health factor, giving Brown maximum rest opportunities in between series and Tatum the ability to let that wrist not be an issue, will be good. Super pumped for game 2 on Wednesday night. Got a big one on deck, and I think the Celtics continue to roll here in the series. I mean, anything else across the NBA playoffs, fellas? Obviously,
Yeah.
Well,
some
no,
good games across the league, and anything else Celtics for
one
sure
other
too.
thing I want to talk about, Eric, you made a great point about the rebounding, and I think that's been an Achilles heel actually for the Celtics all year. In one little betting thing that I was like, looking at a lot this year was a lot of bigs to get 10 plus rebounds against the Celtics, and a lot of them hit. It's kind of crazy, but they do have a little bit of an issue rebounding. And that could be a matchup issue looking forward. So I don't think it's going to be an issue. Of course, again, I think the series is kind of all but wrapped up. I don't think this series is going to be an issue, but moving forward, they need to clean that up and get a little bit more aggressive on the boards. I agree with you, Eric, 100%.
Anybody else have any Celtics thoughts? I have an NBA thought, but I want to keep it on the Celtics if other folks have Celtics thoughts first.
I mean, I think we all kind of
Richard.
laid it out pretty well. You said it great. Like this team doesn't need JT, and JB or KP, all the fucking nicknames. You don't
P P P
you
J
don't need them
B
all
L
to be
V.
like going at 100% for this team to be successful. That's kind of how they built Brad Stevens built this team, and that's was proven in game one, and hopefully game two you'll see JT and JB kind of break out of some early slumps and get it going a little bit.
And knock
Yeah.
on wood, because you know how I am with my superstitions. Adjustments. That's the big thing about this team. They are great at making adjustments, and they're gonna do their homework.
But that
We
comes
know
down to
Joe's
the
gonna
coaching
make. They're gonna
staff.
do their
Yeah.
homework. Yeah, they're gonna
Missoula
do
is
their
a
homework.
nut, holding back the trainer,
Oh, so
saying,
good.
Oh,
Get
"Get the
up!
fuck
Get
up!"
up! Get up!
I can't say I haven't seen that before.
I do want to also throw on out like the officiating. I didn't think was that great, but I can't really look at that and
Is
say
it
like,
ever
hey, that
great? I mean,
no, but
Never.
it like didn't impact the game. But like I think one thing that was kind of interesting is Al Horford, who was like the consummate professional. He flipped out at a couple calls because
Yeah.
he thought they were blatantly so bad. So
you know
I
when
think it's
Al, yeah.
something to keep an eye on because Al is typically like the guy that is calm, that he's gonna be like whatever,
That's
when it happens,
Rafael.
he's like all right,
Eric,
whatever.
were you referencing the play with, I think it was maybe Cole Anthony? He had a mismatch and he was trying to get him off of him, and he ended
Yeah.
up he got the offensive foul. Yeah, exactly.
Well, and Missoula came out. Missoula came out because he thought that hey, maybe Horford was going to get a technical
Protecting him.
because he was pretty emphatic. But I think it's something I saw in other games too, which is a good segue to
He's
like
holding his pants. He was holding Al's pants to Al's
yeah,
defense.
yeah.
I'm coming right on Al's side. Like Al was like, get the fuck off me. I'm 6'10". You're not.
Yeah, and just like I watched a bunch of the other games too, and I thought the officiating was pretty suspect across the board, which I think is not something that's new in the NBA. But I don't know. Did any of you guys watch any of the other NBA games this weekend at all, or not
Hmm.
at all?
It was
Not
a
a ton.
Oh yeah,
A little
kind of
bit.
tuned in. I mean, I
Clippers,
think,
Denver.
yeah,
That was the only good game of all the
Memphis,
games that are
LA.
out there. No,
Well,
all the other games
seeing the Lakers
sucked.
lose is seeing the Lakers
Yeah,
lose
but
is
that,
great. What are you
but
talking about?
yeah, no, no,
That's
no,
just as good as
Sam,
that's just as good
This
as the
is
Celtics
talking
win.
about
yeah,
the
but no, no,
gameplay
no, no. Like I'm
quality.
talking
I
about
know.
the
I'm
games
just fucking
though.
kidding. I'm
The
kidding. I'm kidding.
games themselves sucked across the board for the most part,
OKC blew out.
except for the Nuggets and Clippers, which was the only good game. All the other games, yeah, they might have been close at a certain point. Like I watched the Warriors Rockets game last night, which it was close at a certain point going
The
into
next
the fourth
game.
quarter. But like the Warriors, you could tell that they have players who have been there before versus a team like the Rockets. So I don't really think the NBA playoffs is really going to get started for us as the general like NBA fans and like people that really want to see good competition until the next round.
Yeah, I
So
agree with you.
That
this
Knicks
is this
Detroit game
for,
was pretty competitive. I don't. I.
I mean,
I.
let's
I.
let's
I don't know.
it's
I
game
agree.
one. We played one game
Yeah,
here.
I agree with you, Eric. But I think Houston had like 36 points in the first half last. Oh,
it was
yeah,
awful,
it was
so
great.
bad.
I've never seen anything like that. I mean, that's really low to have 36 points. It's very impressive. But one last call out I think that I want to make for the Celtics is Peyton Pritchard. That dude he really is the sixth man of the year. I mean, 19 points in the first game. I think he had multiple points in the first half where it was like looking a little sketchy and he was getting them back in it. So I think he's going to be a really huge spark for them off the bench, and he's going to earn that sixth man this year in the playoffs, definitely
This is
for
Hell
sure.
yeah,
consistency.
hell yeah.
This is consistency.
Yeah, NBA playoffs roll on. Celtics next game Wednesday. We'll have 3 games to recap the next time that we all get together here next Monday.
Series
So
over.
we'll see.
Potentially a series that's done. That's
We'll
right.
see. We'll see. Don't take the Magic lightly. They got two
Okay,
great players, and the
Hey, I said
Celtics
potentially. I said potentially.
potentially we're going to move on to the
I'm
Red
not saying
Sox.
shit. I'm knocking on wood over here. I'm not saying fucking anything until
I
this
knocked on wood
series
over
is
here
over.
too, Sam. Just so you know,
You
I
gotta
got you.
hang something up on
You
on the
guys fucking
curtain there
kill me.
with the
Just kidding.
Celtics there. So
Yeah, I'm being
all
a
right,
little cocky.
let's move it. Yeah, let's move it right along though to
Defending champs.
the Red Sox, who are now 25 games into the season here, currently on a home stand, and let's rewind the week where the Sox at the beginning had a series against Tampa down at the minor league facilities of the Yankees, and then they came back home for a 4-game stretch against the White Sox with the conclusion of a series against Chicago today in the Patriots Day game. So, Kraz, series by series, take us back in time up until today.
Yeah, I mean, since we last aired, we're 5-2. We're starting to look like the team I thought we would. We had a couple of hiccups. One I kind of want to mention, just touch on. Tanner Houck. I forgot which game it was. He was
16-1 game. Terrible.
yeah, he was
Against Tampa, right?
How
Worst
can you
start
forget
in
that?
franchise history.
We should really be 6-0 in my opinion, because word on the street is he was tipping his pitches, and that makes complete sense after the outing that he put up the other day. So clearly he went in and he fixed something. Um, Costas is off to a really slow start. I mean,
No.
series by
Saturday
series. Yeah, Saturday was a definite help, but you can definitely see that he's slowing down.
Mhm.
Garrett, I mean, I'll let you guys kind of touch on the games that you went for the Grateful Dead night and for what's called that walk-off win. But I mean, today's game, I don't know if you guys watched.
A little bit.
It was a good game. It wasn't,
It
you
looked
had
good.
home runs, you had passing
Came
the
out
baton,
quick.
running. Yeah, you had good
Walker
defense.
Bueller had a great outing.
Yeah, I mean the first inning
run.
could have got real sketchy, and Walker Buehler got out of it. I think it was runners on first and second, no out. And then he only let up 1 run, so he got out of what could have been a really bad first inning, and then the Red Sox just took it and ran.
And in past previous years, we've seen this team take this kind of a jam and just explode it, and now it's a 5-0 game in the first, and you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole where, like I said in the last episode, I'm not really too concerned about that sliding because this team still needs to gel. They still need to play together. They still have 2 or 3 core guys that haven't really played together. Story being injured for a while, and then Bregman being new. Those guys all need to play together. Christian
Mhm.
Campbell, I just want to really touch on quickly
Killing
today's
it.
at bat. That was like, I mean, the kid's so young, and that was one of the most professional at bats I've ever seen. I mean, he took a pitch that was inside on him and put it to right field. It was like, what the fuck? I mean, that's insane. It's absolutely wild. And I'm not comparing him to Mookie Betts. Don't jump on that train and be like, oh. But this kid has some of the fastest hands I've ever seen compared to Mookie Betts. Honestly, I mean, Lou Merlone said it, but I was saying it before Lou was saying it. The kid's got a violent fucking swing. His hands just move so quickly, and that allows him to just be able to put barrel on ball and be able to fucking put it out there and have the campaign that he's having right now and be one of the leading rookies in the major leagues.
Paul, you went Friday night, right?
Yeah, I was there Friday. Great weekend to get over there for a game. Sat up in the Coca-Cola corner, fun time up
That
in the
was
Coke.
shakedown.
Yeah, it was Grateful Dead night, so that was let's save that for the oh yeahs. I got a couple oh yeahs from Friday night that we'll get to when we get to that point. But in terms of that game in particular, Trevor Story game just spectacular. Two home runs and six RBIs, two three-run home runs, and then a couple other home runs throughout the course of the night. So it was a good game to be at. Friday night, drinks were flowing. It was a good time. And yeah, they took care of business for Chicago that night. Bregman had a home run, I believe, as well. So it's always fun to get over there. First game of the year, definitely look forward to getting over to more. And I know you were there on Saturday, J Matt.
Yeah, so Saturday, immaculate vibes. Just it was like a summer day, 80 degrees, just sitting in the ballpark, some sun. It was you had so many out of towners too from the marathon. So it was good. It was a lot of fun. Definitely some good vibes. The game was great too. An incredible one. Garrett Crochet pitched an absolute gem. Um the Red Sox did the bullpen had a little bit of trouble. They almost blew it. But you did have our bullpen come in and hold some of the late innings to do what they need to do. Devers had a 3-run bomb over the monster, which was incredible to see. Just kept going and going, and then Casas, who struggled early on in the game, where he could have actually helped the Red Sox get a better more than 3 runs. Probably, I think it could have been on a 5-run lead if he did some damage there, but totally redeemed himself in the late innings and hit a walk off. I think it was a single off the monster. Could have been a grand slam, and it was a great game. So good to be there. Good to be back at the stadium. Didn't go last year, so it was just incredible. What a day! It's midsummer in April. You can't ask for much more. And a win.
It's
Didn't
nothing
you have
better.
Aroldis Chapman stare down Maton? I think it was.
He definitely did, and you can see when he's
You
pitching,
know
man.
why?
That caboose, baby. Whoa,
You know
he's
why?
a big
He
dude.
Belichick
Maton
would love that.
Belichick would love
Maton
that.
had a walk off in Chicago that Chapman gave up. So that's why the stare down happened because he remembered that and he reared back and fucking 102 miles an
Yeah,
hour
he
to
was
try and fucking hit
He
this.
was gassing it.
He
Yeah, he
had he
was.
had some gas on the other day. I think in terms of the team, the pitching has been spectacular. Both the
Hmm.
starters as well as the relievers. The bullpen, the fact that they can go to Chapman or Slayton at the end of games to close things out. Slayton closed
Liam
today.
Hendricks,
Had a great ninth inning. So
Whitlock.
Whitlock. I mean,
Whitlock,
the back of their bullpen's pretty
and
stacked right
well, and,
now.
and who was it? Giolito really fucked us the other day on Sunday. I mean, they should have swept the White Sox and kind of gave up that Sunday game. But the rest of that pitching staff with Brian Bayo, who should be, I think isn't he starting soon? Maybe this
He
week.
should be starting very, very soon.
So
He's
he's
coming back.
back,
There was
and then that pushes somebody out to the bullpen and Cutter Crawford. So in terms of what J Matt just said, like Garrett Whitlock, a couple other guys in those mid inning roles between the fifth and like seventh to get to the back end of the bullpen, I think they need. But they're starting to turn the corner a little bit. They got to take care of business over the next couple weeks. Any final baseball thoughts, fellas? Otherwise, it's time for do do do
I
do.
just want to say that I think it's a little funny that the weather's better and the team's starting to play a little better.
Oh, Jesus fucking
Maybe
Christ.
Big E was onto something there. I don't know. I don't
hey
know.
Manfred,
Maybe I told you so. That's all I'm gonna
hey
say.
Manfred.
Tax day, baby. Tax
One
day,
one
Big
I
E.
think one guy that doesn't get enough credit maybe is Trevor Story, and
Killing it.
I think he is actually like becoming one of the core leaders in this clubhouse, and as long as he can stay healthy, I was watching the Red Sox that new documentary on Netflix, and they were playing really well in the beginning of last year, and as soon as Story went down with that shoulder injury, you could tell the team just
Mhm.
kind of like just
Deflated.
hit like vibes just got totally changed and like he was really impacted by that. So to see Trevor Story like having this really great start to the season, I think is a testament to hopefully good things to come. And I think this season As you guys, as Plotty and JMatt were feeling it in the stadium, vibes are immaculate right now, and I think that the Red Sox are going to ride that wave with the fans and just hopefully ride it into a playoff berth, however they can get there, wild card, whatever, and hopefully make a run this season. I think the team has the juice.
I mean, there's nothing more palpable than being at Fenway Park and like when you know the fans and the energy around the team is on a high and in a good place. Unlike football, where you can still go down to Gillette and have yourself a day in watching a 3-12 football team and enjoy that kind of day. If you go to Fenway at the end of the year and it's and they're not in it, like you might as well not go. It's just not where you want to be at that time. But especially this time of year where the weather's getting nice and the team is in a good place as we currently stand, like yeah, it's going to be a place to be throughout the course of the summer for sure.
Hell
And yeah,
yeah.
Trevor Story being a mainstay up the middle. I mean, certainly defensively they've been better with him at short. So lots of good things to look forward to the Sox here as they continue their march on. We'll be recapping things every week. Next week we'll be recapping the NFL draft because we have it all happening starting Thursday this week. J Matt, take us into Patriots Land NFL Draft preview. The floor is yours.
Right,
Yeah,
okay, perfect.
we had our sister Karen Garigian on last week, our Boston sports sister. And she you know, everyone has their own opinion on what they can do in the draft, and we're all gonna think we're gonna have a little segment here tonight. We're actually all gonna give our opinion on what we think the Patriots are gonna do. So let's just go ahead and do it. Does anyone want to take it away? What anyone want
Yeah,
to? So we're gonna
Who
do.
I'll
wants to
start
go on the
first.
clock?
So hold on.
I'll
We're
go
gonna
on the
do
clock.
when you're on the clock, it's who you think the Patriots are gonna pick, and then who you want the Patriots to pick. So that's the
Okay,
two
I
things.
like it.
you get
So
90 seconds total. I got the timer, and I'm gonna give you a big if you like Family Feud when you get to the end, if you're still going. So Kraz, I'll give you a 3, 2, 1, and you're on the clock. The Samuel Krasner out of Cranston, Rhode Island, is officially on the clock.
With the fourth pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select.
Abdul Carter goes to the Patriots. I think that will happen, but what I want to happen is I want to see what Karen was talking about in Ashton Genty coming to the Patriots at number 4. I think he's going to be one of the first running backs off the draft. Um, I just the whole Will Campbell thing, we've talked about it in the group text so many times. I don't know where to stand with it. It Even the arms thing, like if you don't have a veteran next to that guy to show him what to do and he starts getting flustered and making mistakes and it gets in his head, it just starts going downhill. So I'd rather have the sure thing and give Drake May that talent right next to him that we know is going to actually put yards up and could be either a complimentary back to Ramondre or you get rid of Ramondre and get something for him. So yeah, that's my take. I was quick.
At officially 1 minute and 9 seconds. Well
Nice.
done,
Wow.
I'll send
Krasner.
it
Well
to
done.
I
69
love it.
seconds.
I
A
love it.
fresh 69
Rob
seconds on
Gronkowski would
Krasner's
love
take.
that.
Yes.
Gabriel
Gronk would love that.
Chapone,
He's up on the clock.
currently of Brookline, but soon to be of other places, is on the clock.
All right. Well, if Abdul Carter drops to number 4, I've heard rumors that Patriots could potentially, or the Eagles are very interested in Abdul Carter and could potentially offer up AJ Brown in a trade. That is enticing to me. Who I think they will draft is Will Campbell, unfortunately. That's just kind of what all the mocks are saying, and it just seems inevitable at this point. I hope I'm wrong. What I hope they do is trade back and get Armand Membu, a true left tackle and someone who you could slot right into that position and get him going. You know, there'll probably be some growing pains, but and then I would like to see them also kind of buy back into the first round and be aggressive and maybe get another left tackle. Maybe Josh Simmons out of Ohio State, who's, coming off a pretty bad injury, but who's a big boy and could really fill some good shoes in that left tackle position. So that's what I think I would do in the first round.
Love it.
At 71 seconds, 1 minute and 11 seconds. So, all right, brothers Matulski, flip a coin. Who goes first?
E, you want to
J-Matt.
take it away? I'll go. All right.
J-Matt, take
All
it.
right.
So
Hold on, I gotta give you your proper introduction to the stage. Hailing out of Brighton, Massachusetts. Oh my God, what just said?
Whoa.
Oh my God.
We
R2S2
lost.
has arrived at the draft. The
He
Boston
has
Sports Brothers
returned.
draft
go?
has been officially
All right, we have a
impacted
trade.
by
We have a trade.
Breaking news.
Adam,
AJ Brown
Adam,
is a Patriot.
he's completely off the screen, completely threw everything for a loop here. But the NFL the
Oh,
NFL draft rolls on. He's back. He's back. Oh
there he
my
is.
God.
Gabe cut out, and that was it.
And then R2S2 showed up at the Boston
No, it
Sports
wasn't.
Brothers
No,
draft.
I haven't touched the computer at all. It was my headphones.
He
Oh,
has a
weird.
mind of his own. But
It doesn't
anyways,
have a mind of its own.
He's at the bottom
Actually,
of the
it
Charles
probably
River.
it probably was the computer, to be completely honest, and it just lost connection.
that's all right.
But I was just sitting there, and I'm like, why can't I
you're
hear
back.
anything?
He's back.
And I was like, is it just me? And then everyone else was talking. I was like, no, it's not just me.
He's
It is
back.
just me.
He's back. That was like the power outage in the Super Bowl versus the 49ers and the Ravens. We had a little delay there.
Purposeful.
But we were right at the point where J Matt hailing
This podcast keeps you on your toes.
you
Oh,
never
you
know
never
what
know.
the fuck can happen here. And so without further ado, J Matt, you're officially on the clock.
So I'm kind of in agreement with what Gabe said. I really don't have much of a whole different take. I think the Pats might take Will Campbell at 4 because he's probably going to be like what they think is the best available at that position at the time. What I want them to do and what I do think it's possible they could do is also trade back. I think, like Gabe said, you're going to find a lot of teams that are interested maybe at who's someone from 4 to 12 that they really want, and maybe hopefully you could get some more pick in the middle of the first round maybe, and maybe another late round first round pick, or maybe an early second round pick, and then again, like you said, also Gabe is package another pick like maybe the one you got from Atlanta, and move back up. So they have a lot of opportunity with the moves they made, especially also even with that Milton pick. Yeah, I know it's sounds kind of crazy, but they have another fifth round pick, so you never know. I hope they trade. I hope they get aggressive and really stock up on picks because they really need the talent at a lot of positions, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm hopeful, but we'll see. Could be the T-Rex.
That first push, baby.
1 minute 23 seconds, 83 seconds for J Matt.
Closest.
So without further ado, it's Big E on the clock hailing at a Easty Kid, where there's
Yeah.
some tunnels open for business, and so is the Big Easty.
All right,
my
the
God,
Big
why
Easty is on the clock, and what I would love for the Patriots to do is to draft Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter if either of them fall to them. I don't think that that's likely to happen. So what I truly want them to do is I want them to trade back somewhere like 9 with the Saints. I don't even care about getting someone like Olave. I just want to be able to draft an impactful player, and this draft is strong with running backs and tight ends. Give me the tight end from Penn State, Tyler Warren, or Colton Loveland from Michigan. Either one of those guys I'd be happy with. And then I agree with Gabe's take about taking one of those picks, and whether it's a second round pick and a third round pick and moving back into the first round and getting Josh Connerly. If we can do both of those things, I'd be extremely happy. I think that there's a great opportunity to still get a starting running back in the third round as well. Someone like Cam Scatabo, personal crush of mine, would love for him to be drafted by the Patriots. So I think we have to be smart about where we can get quality here. I don't think the T-Rex is enough for what we're going to need, but ultimately I think that's who we're going to go with. But I think that there are other options available to the team if they're willing to explore.
1 minute 20 seconds.
Nice. Look at all of us.
All right, Plotty, take us home.
Put everybody on a clock here. All right.
Pressure doesn't
put
affect
yourself
us.
on.
Someone else needs to put Claudia on the clock. I'll put him on the clock.
Whoever else can put me on the clock. You can. I'll take a proper introduction. Whoever.
Hailing from Dedham, Massachusetts, standing 6 feet tall, Joshua Plotkin. You are on the clock.
All right. So here's what the Patriots are going to do. At number 4, they are drafting William Campbell out of LSU, offensive tackle / guard. They're going to continue the Patriots way of drafting players and saying they play one position only to play them in another. And we're going to see what happens with Will Campbell. Now, he's probably a very good player, and I'll be excited to have him on the team. But what I really want is absolute chaos. I want somehow for someone to follow us at 4. If it's Carter or Hunter, you make that pick. If it's not, then chaos. Trade, do whatever. I don't care what happens. I just want chaos. I want draft capital. I want movement. I want things to happen that we're not talking about here at all. That is what I am rooting for. That is what I want in this year's NFL draft.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that. I hope there's chaos. I hope, they have fun with the draft and like it seems like, there's a few potential steals that we could get like Cam Scattaboo. I know Big E loves him, and there's another guy out of Tennessee, Dylan Sampson, who's could be there in that same kind of area. And like Eric said, also it's a deep tight end and running back class. So you don't necessarily have to take a high pick on those positions. You can find some diamonds in the rough in the later rounds and kind of ride with that. I think the Patriots need more of a pass catching back than they need a power back right now. And I think getting a tight end under Hunter Henry and under his veteran guidance right now would be very ideal. I think that would be ideal. I think someone like there's a guy out of Miami, Elijah Arroyo. He could go kind of later in the draft and has some real potential. So I don't know. We'll see. I agree. I hope there's some chaos, and I hope it's a fun draft. Like I don't want to just draft Will Campbell. Like that just seems kind of like I don't
Easy
know. It
way
just
out,
seems
right?
We all
easy.
agree that left tackle in offensive playmaking in terms of a running back and potentially a wide receiver are what the team needs, because I think they've done a pretty good job addressing the defensive side of the ball here.
Yeah.
And from the chaos standpoint, why not if you're going to go out and about this at the draft to address offensive needs, why not have as many cracks at it as you can
Yeah.
with as many picks as you
Yeah.
can accumulate?
Trenches
Especially
out.
with the track record that the Patriots have drafting at that position.
I-
So
Go on, fast guy.
all the
Draft
cracks,
110 players will be good.
I think that the Patriots need to draft a tackle at some point, but I think like the big thing that you heard across the board from all of us is it's not that we think Will Campbell's bad. We just think that him at 4 is not a good value for the Patriots compared to other players that could be had later in the first round. So I firmly believe that we are going to get a tackle at some point. I just don't really feel confident that Will Campbell is the best option at 4 versus someone like Connerly or Simmons or
Membu, yeah.
Membu. Sorry, I mispronounced his name. But I don't think those guys are
Kid from
that far
Texas.
off from Will Campbell, and they could be had at much better value. So
Well-
I think they need to be smart and look at value for the positions that they're going to get, and not just get the best guy who's available for the position of need at the pick.
My last point about the Pats is Vrabel had a press conference this past week, and someone asked him if Will Campbell is like one of the only starting tackles at the position, and he said that he thinks there's are multiple tackles that can start at the position. So, to your point, Eric, that is like the prime example of their coach saying, we might not take the what everyone thinks we're going to do at 4 and get a different tackle later in the draft that can still be as good, if not better, than the guy that's projected at number 4. So I think we all want the trade. So Vrabel kind of alluded to that potential right there.
I mean, I would have absolutely no problem in this draft with them taking like 4 or 5 fatties in terms of the offensive line and the defensive line. Like, not a
What I'm
problem at
saying,
all.
do it in the
Like,
later
I'm all
rounds.
good with that.
Get a
I think they
stud
addressed
Defensive tackle,
offensive
left
player in the
tackle.
beginning.
I forget who. I want to say it might have been Barthy. It might have been somebody. I forget. Maybe Mike Cadlick. But somebody said, "What is one position in need that nobody's talking about that they need?" And that it was free safety actually in the secondary. Kyle Duggar last year obviously was there, but Pat Chung no longer here, obviously. And then who the Corey's
Adrian
not
Phillips.
here. Phillips, and he his play really kind of went sideways last year. So free safety, look out for that position to potentially be
Also center and guard too. Like we need more offensive linemen. So
Fatties.
like tackles a huge need. But like we got Garrett Bradbury to come in and be our starting center, who's a good center, but he's also in his 30s. So like we need those next wave of guys to be ready to come in, and these guys don't all have to be ready to come in and play this year. So I'm looking for a lot of guys on the offensive line and defensive line too. I think our defensive line is stacked right now, but we always need more guys we can plug and play.
You can get a
Roll those
center in round
fatties.
5. Get a
Roll
center
those
round
fatties.
5,
Roll
right?
the
Right
fatties,
into
beautiful.
one Patriot place.
Roll it up.
A lot of rolling
A
yesterday.
lot of
for
good
sure.
places to eat.
A lot of rolling yesterday. Hope
Yes.
everybody enjoyed
Lift
that.
and eat.
Yeah,
Lift and
Big
eat.
E,
Lift
what
and
holiday
eat.
was it yesterday?
It was Easter.
That's right. Good guess.
Easter.
I went to church.
There you go. I did not.
Me
It
Excellent.
neither.
was it was it was a great day for Snoop Dogg. I don't know if you guys saw him in his bunny costume, but he
Oh
was getting
yeah.
real. He was getting all into the multiple holidays.
This gives me oh yeah that we have to touch on when we get to that point as well. Let me
Add
note
add it to
that.
the list right now.
And Gabriel, while we do that, I
I
know
don't know how
our
we transition to the Bruins
I
there,
know our
but
beloved Bruins are out of the playoffs,
Who,
and
all
so we
right.
don't have
Who's
much
saying the
there.
mourners kiddish?
Yeah, I think we did
we definitely
last
did.
week, but
We did.
obviously the what I think many regard as the best playoffs and perhaps all of sports is underway, and we know that especially in the Stanley Cup playoffs that seeding doesn't matter that much. So anything across the NHL playoffs, I really didn't catch much action this weekend, but it sounds like there's a great series north of the border that's going on. So Gabe, anything NHL
Fisticuffs.
playoffs, an NHL minute, if you will.
Yes. Well, I'll start with the Bruins. They officially finished the season. They don't know how to lose properly. They lose in overtime and pick up a point. They finished fifth worst with the fifth worst record in the league. They were fourth, and that win kind of vaulted them past the Philadelphia Flyers into that fifth position. They still have good odds to move up in the draft after the Stanley Cup playoffs are over. They also have some odds to move back, so we'll see what happens there. There's definitely some good forward depth in the draft coming up, so I'm kind of excited for that. I'm a big draft nerd when it comes to NFL draft, any draft really. I don't know why I like it, but as far as the playoffs, I haven't really watched too much of it. I know the Maple Leafs and Ottawa are going at it. The Maple Leafs absolutely destroyed them. I think it was like 6-2 in the first game. Um, I don't know. Watch out for the Maple Leafs this year. We always give them shit being from Boston, how they can't get over the hump and make it kind of far into the playoffs. But I think they have a really good offense and a lot to prove, a lot of chips on a lot of shoulders there. So I could see them potentially going far. I think a game on as we speak is the Washington Capitals versus the Montreal Canadiens. That I mean, the Canadians haven't been in the playoffs in quite some time, so that's kind of an intriguing matchup as well. So I don't know. We'll see. I haven't had a chance to watch too much playoff hockey yet, but when the Bruins aren't in it, it's a little bit tough to watch. But it's cool to see playoff hockey, and it's always a great physicality to the game, and yeah, so. There's a Bruins minute for you, or a hockey minute.
There we go. Love it. As I said at the top of the episode, the Bruins just fucked us because my goodness, we should be preparing for a game tonight or tomorrow, and the alternation of the Celtics Bruins playoffs is always something that's fantastic this time of
One
year.
thing to
So
keep note on is if you care about is the former
AHL.
former the former
yeah,
Bruins that they traded away, Coyle and the Avalanche and Carlo in Toronto and
Mm.
Marchand in Florida. If you want to keep track on how they're doing,
Yeah,
so I was watching. I don't know. I was watching Colorado and I was trying to see Coyle. Looked like he was moving pretty quick. He had a little pep in
he
his
did
step.
score.
So
He
J-Matt,
scored.
that's a
so
great
keep an
point.
eye on
Like,
it. Yeah.
and it's especially with Brad Marchand, and we want to see them go a couple rounds and see him play pretty well in the playoffs for the Bruins' sake because they have a draft pick that could turn into a
Mhm.
first rounder. Um, Yeah, also one thing that I did not touch on, the AHL, the Providence Bruins are going to be starting in the playoffs, I believe on Wednesday or Thursday. The Bruins sent down kind of a flurry of people to kind of help in that run. Um, so that should be interesting. There's that I keep mentioning him every week, but this guy Don's Luchmelis, he's played 6 games. He has 12 points. He's fucking tearing up the AHL. Like there's like I think he may make the roster next year. Like there's serious talk of finding kind of this really great diamond in the rough. I keep saying that, but so keep an eye out for that.
Absolutely. Good stuff there on the NHL playoffs. We'll keep up with it as it rolls on here. And I see everybody looking at the script for what's going to be a hell of a oh yeah, yeah, oh Big E. It is time.
All right, guys. Best time of the week. It's the time to talk about the things that we don't like, the things that bug us, the things that are annoying. Those things are yaoi. And then there are the things
Yeah.
that are
Yeah.
fantastic,
Yeah.
wondrous,
Yeah.
the things that are stupendous,
Yeah.
the things that we all look forward to, the things that make me get up and make me want to yell, "Oh yeah!" So who wants to kick it off with
Oh yeah.
an "Oh yeah" or a "Yeah oh" for this
Let's
week?
let's do the one yeah oh and get it out of the way. I think this is a unanimous yeah oh.
Oh
Doris
my
Burke
God.
fucking
The pride of
sucks.
Providence College.
Oh my god.
Oh no! Can I put this on? I put this on here.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You give
all
us.
right,
You're on the
It's
clock for
sad.
Doris.
all right. So I have an "Oh yeah" with "Yeah oh" because they're
And
kind
I
of
have a
combined.
moment too.
They're combined. So I'm gonna go with the "Oh yeah" first, then the "Yeah oh." Oh yeah, having Mike Breen on the call for the Celtics. Like
Bang.
he's awesome. He's
Mhm.
world class. On the
Bang,
flip side,
bang.
when you have to have Mike Breen on the call, there's a huge "Yeah oh" that comes with that, and that means you also have Doris Burke who's on the call. And you want what? Just Doris brings nothing. And she's a Celtics hater. And the funniest thing too is if you ever read like the Reddit boards, people think that she loves the Celtics. I do not think she loves the Celtics at all. If anything, I just think she sucks. And you want to I just get someone else.
And
She's
here's
not
the
good.
thing. Here's the thing. Everyone remembers that beautiful step back, fadeaway, teardrop shot that Tatum hit. I think it was like early in like the first quarter, or I mean early in the second quarter, late in the first. And it was just like I was just like, oh, Tatum's filthy. Like that's like in his bag. It was just a beautiful shot. And what does Doris say? Oh, great defense on so and so. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding
There's
me? No, Doris has to go. She just
there's
no.
at least
Penalty
like
box.
Ship her out
or
Yeah.
west.
oh
2
Put her in
minutes.
the
Doris Burke
penalty
2
box.
in the
minutes.
penalty box. 2 minutes to Doris Burke for
No,
defeating the
5.
Celtics
No,
hitter.
5. I want her for. I want
That's
her in
only
there
the
for as
Five
first
long
minute
as
round.
major.
possible.
We gotta save
Misconduct.
some
Wow.
time in the box for her. Doris Burke in the penalty box.
Been long time coming.
There's
Long
at
time. Been a
yeah,
long
Mike
there's at
time.
Breen, Mike
least
Breen, number one star
yeah.
of the game.
The best part about Doris is there's at least like 2 or 3 times a game where it's just like, shut the fuck up, Doris. Like, oh my
Literally.
God, just
Oh,
she's a
stop.
pill. She's a pill.
That was our first penalty box in a long time. Long
First
time.
penalty box.
Doris, I'm not
Doris Burke.
surprised. You're gonna be at Tony Brothers. Will be right next to you soon.
Yeah. Very, very true. All right, we got some great oh yeahs from the weekend, and certainly today. Oh yeah, to the new Cisco Brewery that is in Fenway Park, taking over our fathers and the old Tasty Burger.
I'm sorry.
Just an
Sorry, Potty.
absolute.
Sorry,
It's
Eric.
all right. It's all right. To be honest, the fact that Cisco
It's
went
okay.
in that place cures everything because I got to go there on opening day before the Sox game on Friday night. And this place, they took what's going down in the Seaport and relocated it to Fenway Park. But even better, because on the backdrop of this place is Fenway. You walk right over from that kind of Cisco experience right into the game, and it is everything you want out of that. It will be the place to be pre and post game, I think, this summer for folks, and just like that whole area has become unbelievable. Like Lansdowne Street is still an
Mhm.
unbelievable vibe pre and post game. You got the corner with Lansdowne. That new loco is a happening spot. So just what's happened over in Fenway and what they've done to
You
make
still
that
have
experience
Trillium
what
over
it
there
is.
in the
Trillium
food
is
Yeah.
court.
nice.
Trillium near Eastern Standard.
Timeout
Yeah.
Market feels
Oh
like
no,
a thing of
not
the
different.
past
Timeout
now.
Market
They
too.
have Mighty
Yeah,
Squirrel.
there's a
Mighty
lot.
Squirrel.
Oh,
Yeah.
sick.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
And it was a stone's throw, and it's a stone's throw from Gabe, so you can just load up and then go out.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
for now.
For now,
For
for
now.
now, yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
why I said it was.
It was not long lived for much longer there, but oh yeah, to the Cisco and Fenway, and certainly oh yeah to Marathon Monday. I know you guys weren't necessarily something that you went to growing up, maybe sometimes, but for me as a kid growing up in Ashland, I could walk to the marathon route from where I grew up and would go with my grandmother most years, and just an absolute time. There was something like watching 20, 30,000 people run through the middle of your town, and the town kind of shutting down. 135 like divides Ashland in half, so you really weren't going anywhere that day. And to be able to get out there today on Beacon Street in Brookline, and you just see the wave of people at mile 24 with 2 to go, just they're trucking it, and I don't envy them one bit, but to get out there and give them a couple oh yes, let's keep it going.
Oh yeah.
Going. So anything on Marathon Monday, boys? We can do like a quick little time capsule here if anybody has any memories from growing up marathon wise. I don't want to do it today, but obviously the whole situation from 12 years ago, there's a lot of connections there. So we can talk marathon here. I think it's a special day here in town for sure.
I just have immense respect for all the runners. Like, I think like to be able to run a marathon is not something that anyone can just do. It takes a lot of time and training. And I think the thing that makes the Boston Marathon special is the fact that there are all this different types of terrain, a lot of these hills. Heartbreak Hill is notorious amongst the runners. You look at the other like marathons that are out there, the major ones like London and Chicago and New York, those are all mostly flat. So it makes Boston unique, and the fact that it's really something that's run like throughout the city, just super special. So shout out to all the runners who spent all the time training and completed the marathon today, and congrats to you guys.
Also, yeah, I mean, shout out also to the event organizers who have been doing
Mhm.
this year in, year out, like, and also the yeah, the cone heads we saw today that control the pedestrian walkway is the most impressive thing I maybe engineering I've ever seen in my life. It's just like so flawless, and it doesn't disrupt the runners at all, and it doesn't disrupt the pedestrians, and everybody's safe, and they literally wear like Dr. Seuss like looking cones on their heads, and it's quite the operation. But also like shout out to like Boston Police and all the military that's there. And like you said, it's kind of the anniversary or 12-year anniversary of the Boston Marathon bombing that happened. And so they while everybody's cheering, having fun, maybe drinking a little bit, or whatever they like to get down with. There are people working, the medical staff as well. Shout out to them. Like, there's definitely people that are working the event to make it as successful as it is. And yeah, I think we all said it pretty beautifully. Like, it's quite the thing that
And
they
just
they,
to
they
throw
have
the
make happen.
cherry on, and just to throw the cherry on top, this was actually a pivotal race for women's movement as well in society. This I don't know if you guys know, but this was there was a woman that dressed up as a guy, and someone found out like halfway through, and they were like literally trying to drag her off of the marathon, and she just refused to go, and actually like led the way for a lot of movements moving forward. So on top of everything that you guys said, just to have that as another little historical fact too is I think really, really, really cool.
I think it's also you got to shout out all the out of towners that come into from all over the country, the world. It's really a world event. I mean, I was at Fenway, like I said, on Saturday, and I met people from Chicago, and you see people with different flags from all over the world, and it really is a world known event, especially if you're in the running community. So it's special. I mean, I didn't get to go today. I did have to work, unfortunately, but I turn it on every time it's on. I put it on the TV just to watch it. And I love it just to be like, oh, they're running like these streets that I drive down, walk down. It's pretty cool. So, love to see it. What a hell of a weekend too. Does anyone
Oh
else
yeah,
have
to
any marathon?
Boston.
Just
Anyone else?
just
Anyone else have any marathon?
real quick, I think
Yeah.
what you just said, Josh, about like everyone coming from all over the world, it just proves again that Boston is, the hub. It is the center of the universe. Like it is such an
The
international
best
city.
town
It is the
ever,
best city in the
Ever.
world. So
Best
you could
ever.
not do the
fucking
Boston
world.
Marathon in another city that's not named Boston.
Great segue, Eric, because it is the best city in the world. Because this past weekend was also the 250th anniversary of the Revolutionary War and Paul Revere's ride and the
Oh
Battle of
yeah.
Concord.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
Man,
yeah, the British
just
are
like
coming.
so much history. It's incredible. I don't know if anyone got to see any of the video of it, but like there were like thousands of people that made their way out to Lexington and Concord for the
Mhm.
event, and just historic to be able
It's
to
a
be
real
alive
deal.
during the 250th anniversary. So,
Don't fuck with Boston.
Boston's pretty fucking incrable. So,
It's to
best
wrap it
city,
up,
best city in
buddy.
the world.
USA.
To wrap it up, and we don't get political too often, but I think Obama honestly said it best in like the face of adversity and what Big Papi did with his speech and saying this is our fucking city. Like, there's no better representation of who the people are in this town. And at that time, I don't think Boston was as close as it's ever been. Like when those two motherfuckers did what they did and they got caught in Watertown that night, the party that then ensued in Boston and quite
Mhm.
literally around
Speed
New
bump.
England,
I remember
we were
that.
at URI, and I remember the celebrations that were going on down there. Like like that entire experience just showcased who Boston was at its best, and that's why a day like today just means a little bit more. City's on full display as we mentioned, and just a phenomenal day. Great day for the runners as well. Not too hot, not too cold, no
Perfect.
elements to deal with. Just a fantastic day to be out there and enjoy. So. Great stuff there. And love Marathon Monday. It will be Miss Gabe having the spot over there and being able to
I
truck over,
know.
but we'll keep the tradition rolling. And then a few more oh yeahs here. We talked about it. Just he's fucking Tatum's mom,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah,
standing up.
dude, that video was awesome. You want me to go to the Orlando locker room?
I
That
think she
was
was
just
being
like,
like facetious though. I
I
don't
think
think it
so
was like
too.
serious,
Yeah.
but like what a baller move. She'd be like, you want me to take the fucking
I
F
don't know.
from
She
you?
could have been dead serious.
Hey,
I have
There's
no
no
idea.
way.
Mama
I
Tatum ain't somebody I want to mess with. I'll tell you
Hey,
that.
Brandy Cole's a badass.
somebody candidly took that video. I think she was dead serious. She's a G, and I hope I hope KG and Paul Pierce talk about it on their little podcast because KG would have a field day with that.
Yeah.
That would just make me laugh.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, hilarious. All right, the last oh yeah, and this came out of we've referenced it plenty of times, but you know, for our audience, you know, the Boston Sports Brothers like to indulge in legal recreational activities that are allowed here in the beautiful state of Massachusetts and Rhode Island from time to time. And yesterday, what holiday was
Legal.
it, Biggie?
It was Easter.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Yesterday was Stoner's
He
Paradise
is
Day, shall
risen.
we say? And what
There was a
complex?
lot of things rising yesterday.
Yeah, everything was rising. And one thing that rose to the surface on social media was Complex putting out the Mount Rushmore of like weed people, weed personalities. They had Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa, Seth Rogen, and Bob Marley. Certainly some people I agree with, others that we don't, but
Get Wiz Khalifa
having
out of
having
there.
followed this scene for a while, just quick thoughts on this. Certainly an oh yeah yesterday from the rising standpoint, but who wants to chime in? Anybody
Ma-
else that's not on there that should be on there?
Major disrespect to Willie Nelson, like the OG, like,
So the
pothead.
actual my Mount Rushmore, and I don't know if you guys agree with me, would be Bob Marley, obviously. And you have Chong, Tommy Chong. I mean, who else?
Chong's
And
bongs.
then
You could do
what's
Cheech and
that?
Chong as one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
combo
Yeah,
pack.
pretty much. And then you have Snoop Dogg, obviously, Willie Nelson, and then believe it or not, Bill Kreutzmann from the Grateful Dead. He has his own. I'm pretty sure it's not a dispensary, but it's like a cultivation center, and then also he has his own greenhouses. So he's a huge advocate for medical cannabis and the whole industry. Yeah. So that's
I
my
think a
Mount Rushmore.
sleep. I have a sleeper. Method Man.
Oh.
If we're bringing it to if we're
Oh. Wait, you want to what? It's kind of like that old Chappelle sketch where they're doing the racial draft. We're gonna draft the whole. We're gonna select the whole Wu-Tang Clan. All right.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Sam went off. Sam went off camera.
Drafts the
Says I can't be
Wu-Tang,
part of this.
drafts the entire Wu-Tang clan. I mean, yeah, I think that's not the purpose here of said draft. But I think I agree with what Kraz said. Get rid of Seth Rogen and
Oh, keep Seth Rogen. I think Seth Rogen should be up there. Maybe get rid of Wiz Khalifa.
yeah, Wiz Khalifa, get out. Like you were weed at one point, but not current times.
Seth Rogen could definitely be. He could be
Yeah.
interchangeable, I think.
Willie Nelson definitely
Although I do
belongs
love
on
him.
there. That was the
geez.
biggest omission by far.
Got to have a Jew representing up there. You know?
Well, I mean, just for Pineapple Express and the fact that like he's literally high in every single movie he's
Pineapple
in.
Express is
Like you got to put Seth Rogen in the contention there because literally I don't know if you guys read his book. He literally is high 24/7.
it's Labrador, man. What's
He has his own
Labrador?
company and everything.
Yeah.
My dog ate my bag, man. So I followed it around for a day.
You can buy a $400 grinder and rolling tray from Seth Rogen if you want. So
Uh,
it's yeah, always a fun time. Back in the day, it was a day I think we all got way more up for in terms of making something out of it, and now it's just like no different than any other day. Uh, but a great one nonetheless. And Complex putting out that Mount Rushmore definitely had some chirping going on. So any other oh yeahs or yeah-ohs, fellas? Otherwise, we're gonna jump on the pike and take this baby home.
I think the legal status of weed has also kind of changed the holiday a little bit, and
Very true, very true.
maybe not as like, I don't know, not as exciting.
I still think on college campuses and places where it's still I don't want to say like taboo, but more special than people of our generation. Still a big deal, but for us,
I have a
feel
time
like,
capsule moment.
go ahead.
Sure.
Gabe's 21st birthday.
Yeah.
3 out of the 5 of us were in the car for that. Somebody, aka J Matt, wanted us to take the back roads to get to one Foxborough, and we were indulging in Gabe's 21st birthday, and all of a sudden we hit a series of cars and we're all stopped and we're like, what the fuck's going on? And Gabe's drinking, Josh is drinking, and I'm driving and we're smoking, and then all of a sudden I see a cop and he's telling people to go the other way because it's the players' way. And I didn't really have much time. I just put my window down and that smoke went right into his face and he just smiled and said, "Going to the game?" And I said, "Yep." He said,
Oh,
"Yep, can't come this way, gotta go that way." I said, "All right,
Go
thanks, have a
down
good
the
day."
pike.
turn around, down the pike you
Go
go,
down the
down the
pike.
pike
Down
you
the
go.
pike.
Yeah, well, now you walk out of a game and all it smells like is beer, cigarettes, and weed. So, looking forward to smelling that on Wednesday night when we walk out of the garden, hopefully in a celebratory spirit. We've reached the end of our episode here. We are on the pike heading home. As mentioned several times, the Celtics series continues against the Magic. Games 2, 3, and 4. Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, 7 p.m. Each game easy to follow. Red Sox in a series against the Seattle Mariners here at home, closing out the homestand. Then they hit the road to take on Cleveland. They're the Cleveland Indians. I don't even know what their actual names are now. So
Guardians.
the Guardians are yes. Okay, the
But the
Guardians
Chiefs can still be around, the Braves can still be around. Oh, fuck it,
So
whatever.
they go ahead and go and try and take care of business
The
there.
Redskins want to come back.
Playoffs roll on. They do. I mean, we're not
They
going to go down
should.
that road today.
Gives a shit.
But that's going to do it here on the Boston Sports Brothers podcast, a great bro show. Next week we have Big E. Who tell us a little bit just about our guest next week?
We
Who's going to
got
be
we got
on with
Ethan
us?
Phillips, who played collegiate hockey at Boston University as well as Western Michigan. So the two teams that faced off in the championship game. So interesting to hear his perspective, having been on both teams, as well as he was drafted by the Detroit Red Wings. I believe that he is not playing professionally due to some injury issues that were suffered in his college career. But he is someone who's on the roller hockey circuit and is pretty well known. He's trained with Nathan McKinnon. He's trained with Brad Marchand. So he's trained with some pretty serious players and
Sick.
someone who I'm very interested to talk to and get his insight on how these professionals conduct themselves to make sure that they're ready for the season and just his experience being a collegiate hockey player in some big time programs.
No doubt. We should definitely talk playoffs with him as well and get his take on
Absolutely.
what's going on around the league. So Ethan Phillips next week, and then the week after that, Jerry Thornton returns for draft recap. And
After draft sex glow.
yeah, after draft sex club with Jerry. Looking forward to that. The best part about that is, yes, it's a week after the draft takes place, but all of the scuttlebutt and all of the national narratives and bullshit will be out there. So we'll be able to pick all of that apart with Jerry as well, and certainly who the Patriots pick. So full draft recap as well as Ethan Phillips next week, Jerry Thornton the week after. Fellas, always great to see you. Have a wonderful week ahead. And we'll do it all again next week when we see you next time on the Boston Sports Brothers podcast. Thanks for tuning in, near, far, wherever you are. Peace.
Have a great week,
Dove.
everyone.